What's up everybody, Justin Hayes here from superhumanpursuits.com, and today I was going to go over a new technique that I kind of discovered. But let me first tell you a little story about how I came about this. I was kind of assessing my deep squat pattern, right? So I was just kind of looking at how I looked in a deep squatting position, and I started noticing that when I was squatting, my form was really clean if I had a slight heel lift. So if my heels were slightly elevated, whether it be from shoes or working on the edge of something, it made my squat pattern look that much cleaner. And usually what that entails, or what that means is that there's some sort of restriction, mobility-wise, inside the region below my knee, so my calf and the front of the shin here. So I had been doing mobility work in this region and doing all the techniques that I had showed in my previous videos, but yet I was still kind of stuck. And so I started kind of fiddling around with some different techniques, and what I came up with, what really helped me, was the Tibialis Anterior here, running along the front of the shin, is still tight for me. And all of this stuff I had previously been doing still weren't loosening it up enough, I felt. And so I started experimenting with a new technique, and this is what I would call a little bit a further progression from what I had previously shown. It's a bit more advanced, and it's definitely not something you should try out of the gates. Make sure you're comfortable with all the other techniques in this area first. And so what it is I'll set my leg on here like this, like so, right? And then I'll pull my other body out here and put my entire weight down on that tibialis anterior. And basically all I'm using here for these motions, let me pull a little bit back into focus here, is just my hands. So all the other, my center of gravity, all my balance is coming down through here, and I'm simply moving with just my hands. And once again, this technique is very similar to the other ones I've shown in this area. You can point this toe to kind of elongate this muscle even further to get a little bit more activity out of it. You can also pull it in and kind of flex it, and that'll also produce a different sort of release. And so that's all the way along this area. And just remember, if you find something terrible, I'm still addressing it. I still got some nasties in there. But if you find something poor, you're just sticking, right? Sticking and holding. And so I do this primarily with my PVC roller. You could use a foam roller as well. I also have used the TP Therapy quad baller here, but it's a little bit tougher, once again, because the distance it is from the floor kind of makes it difficult to roll on this. But it is possible, and it does apply. I would call it even a further progression from the foam roller or PVC roller, because it's a little bit more focal. So the same principles here. And where you run into trouble is, you can see my foot's still elevated and I'm still good. But when you run into trouble is if you start moving your ankle, flexing it in and out, or kind of pulling it up. Then he starts to drag on the floor, not quite as productive. But still very helpful. And so that's my new technique. Hope it is applicable for some of you guys out there. Love to hear any feedback, so hit me up. Talk to you soon.